Hello, YouTube, and hello, my guests, and hello there, General Kenobi. Everyone, welcome back to the TranScribeCast, Episode 2 of Season 2. With me today, I have Belle Umbra and Level 12 Cocktail. Would you ladies like to introduce yourselves?
Well, since Lowell is currently indisposed right now, I'll take it a swing at it. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is not the Lunacates Empire, but I am Belle Umbra, welcoming you to another episode of the Transcribe Podcast. I've been invited to this as, well, for clear reasons. I am a trans femme Vtuber who specializes in quite a few different types of games. Mostly my favorites are RPG. My themings are that of Tokusatsu, Empress of an Evil Empire, who happens to be a Minotaur.
I mean, that's valid. But as a reminder, the TranScribeCast is no longer just for trans masc and trans femme people. Sure, we'll have episodes that are themed for that, but nowadays, for Season 2 and beyond, the podcast is going to be for anyone that wants to work with their voice. Whether they want to get into voice acting as a career, as a hobby, if they want to overcome a stutter, if they want to overcome just any sort of vocal dysphoria. Because, as we always say here on the TranScribeCast, we just look at the timer for the episode. Oh, it's been over a minute.
Fuck vocal dysphoria!
No one should have to feel like they shouldn't talk. Unless, they physically can't talk.
Right. Well, that's good to hear. I'm back here. Nice to. So we've got. My goodness. We have Belle Umbra and we have Index with us. On my side, so this is kind of new for me as well.
Hey there, sunshine.
For anyone on your end who does not know me, my name is Lola. I am the world's only Molotov cocktail VTuber, doing the weird indie games, roguelikes, stuff with audience participation, cool visual novels, that sort of thing. It's great to have you on again.
Yay!
And it's
nice
so
to meet
good
you.
to see you.
Also, let me just start
it's
with
nice
two
to meet
shoutouts.
Actually, you know what? Screw it. We're doing this right.
Fuck it, we'll do it live.
Alright, so, today's episode is about proper lesson etiquette and, what are we doing to overcome it? Or what steps can we take to overcome it? And what sort of expectations to have along the way so you don't hurt yourself during your journey. Because I myself, when I started all of my vocal training, constantly stumbled over myself and constantly doubted whether I would ever get to here, to the point that I hindered myself longer than I should have. And that's kind of the number one lesson I want to start with. You are not going to get it on the first day. If I'm going to be completely real with you, it took me 8 months of constant training. And there will be times where you might stumble a little bit, but remember, you will get there. And you have people backing you up along the way. So that's the number one lesson I can give to you both, starting off.
Good lesson.
Now that the sentimentality is out of the way,
Ladies, what all experience do you have with voice acting or voice training?
Well, I was gonna, other than just the amateur stuff of like doing the occasional visual novel and trying to get into voice acting, like applying for positions and never getting any responses, I do not have a whole lot of experience.
Well, whatever
There we
level of
go.
experience you have, that's... Any sort of experience is great. Even if it's no experience, because you still have a place to start from. Find that positive line of thinking. Now, Belle, what about you?
I have no previous real experience with it. However, I've always been fascinated by voice acting, and how people have been able to just twist their voice into such vast different roles and stuff like that. I have had most of my voice is relatively not too bothering to me. Might be more bothering than I realize. My dysphoria has always been an odd one, where I have just been around it for so long that I can't really tell if it is really affecting me or not.
That should be the end goal. Being comfortable with how you sound. Like, I didn't think that this would be where I would find my comfort, like the whole like tomboyish level. Like, I've asked people, like, how do I sound to you? And people are like, you sound like a tomboy trying to sound like a little more masculine. I'm like, you know what? I'll take it. That sounds perfect for me. I like that. I like that for me.
Goals.
I mean, if I absolutely try to, I can put a little more oomph on it. But I'm happy with where I am.
See, that's somewhere closer to where I wish I could be, honestly.
Also, that's another thing I should mention. When I ask guests, what are you looking to do? And guests have said, like, oh, I just want to get a girl voice, so I just want to get a guy voice.
No.
What girl? What guy? There's 3.5 billion men and 3.5 billion women. They don't all sound the same!
That's true.
I mean, if we all sounded the same, we'd all have to give credit to Matt Mercer or something.
Everyone is voiced by
Someone
Matt
wants
Mercer.
Oh no. Oh no.
So yeah, that's kind of like one of the big things I would like to say. Have either of you ever played a game like League of Legends, for example?
I am 2 years clean of League of Legends.
Or what's a video game you've played recently that has like a lot of female voice actors?
I
Or
two
even
recent
anime.
games that that I definitely could say that I've done Cassette Beasts, but as well Baldur's Gate 3 for everyone else.
Okay, two big examples then there. Let me say this to you, Belle. You've heard Kaylee speak in Cassette Beasts.
Mm-hmm.
And you've heard Lae'zel speak in Baldur's Gate 3.
Two widely different things.
Yeah. Two girl voices, two widely different girl voices. Bear that in mind. When you have like a target in mind, bear in mind that you're not gonna get a cookie cutter voice. You should have in mind of someone you want to sound more like. That is the number 2 lesson to make it easier. Because when I started, I said the same thing to my coach, and she sat me down and was like, that's like trying to push a thread through a microscopic needle. You need to sit down and ask yourself, who do I want to sound like? Not, I want to sound like a girl, I want to sound like a guy. You need to sit down and ask yourself, who do I want to sound more like? Pick a voice you admire. Pick a voice actor you really, really look up to. It could be someone from a video game, it could be someone from a cartoon, it could be someone from a movie. Pick anyone. And then try to parrot them a little bit. And you will eventually start to work towards that. So that is the number 2 lesson I can give you guys. You picking up what I'm putting down so far?
Incredibly so.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, it's good to have those kind of reasonable expectations, and also to have a goal to work towards that that makes sense for your range.
Yeah. Now, Lola, who would you say is your target?
It's good to say with my particular like deeper voice, but there are definitely some trans VTubers I admire, like Arena, for instance. He has a voice that is a little deeper, but still undeniably feminine, and I admire that greatly.
I feel that, no. Yeah, so the thing for that would be to, like, listen to them, record yourself trying to sound like them, compare the two. As bad as it is to say, you're gonna have to record I mean, as streamers, we are pretty used to hearing ourselves. Like in post-editing and all that, right?
Yeah.
Right?
I've done so much editing of my... I've really done that. I really need to.
No
I'll make
comment.
me come over there and bite you.
I need to learn how to do the editing and shit, and then upload things to YouTube.
Hello there.
Hello, Deadline, the redacted one. I love that name still.
That's my baby boy. That's my baby boy.
Deadline the redacted one. Anyways.
That's my baby boy Red. He's the one who drew my model.
Aw.
Aw.
So here's the thing. You are going to have to record yourself and listen to yourself back. Because the only way for you to determine how you sound is to hear how you sound to other people. Because your voice sounds different to you than it does to other people. And if you want to sound more like the person that you're trying to parrot to get your voice into that little range, you're going to have to do that a lot. And then you think to yourself, okay, so I sounded closer in pitch, but not in intonation. So you're gonna have to do that a lot, but that's more recommended, like, maybe do that once or twice a week, like as a progressing. Like, you wouldn't step on the scale and weigh yourself twice a day, right?
Of course not.
You do that once a week. Marceline, that's a good question. Can you record your voice using Discord? You can record your voice using Discord. You can record your voice using your phone. I highly recommend, like, using OBS or... Crap, what was that voice thing?
Voice meter?
No. Audacity.
Audacity.
Yeah, Audacity.
There we go.
Use a program that can actually record you. Do not use any apps that will record you and play back like, oh, your voice sounds femme. Oh, your voice sounds mask. Because those apps
That
can
will
cause
get
more
inside
harm.
your head.
Yeah.
That will get
Yep.
inside your head.
Do not use those types of apps because they will get inside your head.
I am inside my head enough as it is.
God, don't I know it, sister?
Now then, with all that said, let's talk about what we can do to practice, actually. We've talked about all the prep work we can do. Now let's talk about putting it into action!
So, first exercise I will say is this. You're going to want to practice scales. And I say this to all my guests, and probably people that have watched this episode know that this is the time I always talk about scales.
Now then, what do I mean by scales?
Well, you're going to have to sound like you're walking up a slope or walking down a slope. Going from 1 to 10 and 10 to 1. Without sounding like you're stepping. So if I could ask both of you to take a turn and try to count from 1 to 10 while slowly raising your pitch with each number. Let's start with Belle.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
See, you've got the pitch, but breaking the stepping is the key. Because I did this with my coach a lot. You have to basically go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. See how smooth that sounded? As opposed to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Because if you can do it smoothly, you have better control and you will strain your vocal cords less. This isn't about like mastering your pitch as much as it is training your vocal cords to be strong enough to handle those changes in tone. It's a little bit of both, but it's more so training your vocal cords to be ready for those changes. You know what I mean, Belle?
Yes.
And like now let's hear Lola's attempt.
Oh, is it my turn then?
Yes, that's why I said Lola.
Okay. Sorry, I'm... One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
That's not bad. Again, there was just a little bit of like stepping there, but it's really not bad. The key here is you both have the right idea of staying within the range that you're comfortable with. Because if your voice breaks along the way, like if you go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, if you can feel yourself straining and your voice cracking, stop, scale it back a little, reduce your range, and work towards it. It's time for the gym analogy again. Let's say you're going to the gym for the first time. What's your first thing you're going to do? Are you going to pick up the little 1 pound weights to get started and warm up? Or are you going to go straight to the 5 pound or 500 pound deadlift?
Gonna go for the smaller weights, especially after having done some cardio first.
What did you say, Belle?
Considering the fact that I don't want to blow out my arms, yeah, smaller weights.
Exactly the same thing for your vocal cords. When doing this training, reminder for this training. Start small and work your way up. Find where your voice starts to crack and then try to push toward that without going over it. You're basically trying to train your vocal cords to do something that they are not used to doing. And if you strain them too much and break them, your throat's going to feel like you're trying to swallow a cactus lined with fiberglass. I am not joking with that analogy.
Yeah, I've having done visual novels for like many hours at a time, I do feel that point where my throat starts getting like really bad, and I'm like, okay, no, yeah, I get that. Can relate.
So, you both have already in mind quite a few of the lessons. Yeah, the point of the scales is to get close to voice cracking without getting past it. And not only that, it's to train yourself to be able to go up and down on the scale smoothly without straining yourself, without exhausting yourself, because even I still get tired by pushing my voice around back and forth for hours on end for these streams. Millie the Vampire, hello Paige, how are you? Good news, I started my HRT medication 3 days ago. Well, hell yeah! I'm good, Millie.
Hey. That's what we'd like to see.
We do love them antihistamines.
Good old titty Skittles.
So, here's another thing I will also always advocate. Bear in mind the softness of your consonants and your vowels. Do you know what I mean by that?
Believe so.
Yeah. I guess it's because there's more of a expectation of like softness on the consonants and vowels with fem sounding voices.
Exactly. You guys are already smart. You guys are already way ahead. Because if I was talking about putting effort on the consonant sounds, you would sound a little more emphatic. Do you see what I mean?
Yeah.
I do, yep.
And that was one of the things I really, really struggled with. Granted, these are all like big blanket terms or blanket ideologies. Everyone's a little different. There are ladies who like have more emphatic voices, but for what you're going for, bear all these lessons in mind and pick how much you want to turn those lessons up to 10 or down to 1. Like, hey, I want to sound a little more authoritative and emphatic. So yeah, go for it. Ham it up.
Well, you have the right idea.
Mm-hmm. I was gonna say there's definitely more, especially like upper class British sounding voices that do have a lot more enunciation of the consonants. But then again, the longer I stay away from the UK, the less attachment I feel to a lot of those accents, you know. Especially since a lot of them tend to end up on the other side of the aisle politically.
I'm glad to hear that, Noel, Marcy, and to my lovely guests. I'm glad, like, I can help more people, and, like, granted, some of these episodes may seem pretty samey, but when I bring in new guests and I can meet new people and give new lessons, it's just kind of amazing.
Of course.
During your transitions, has anyone, like, already, like, hit you with, like, the miss? Like, excuse me, miss?
I was hit by that when I was literally going to see my doctor for, I believe it was my 1-year anniversary for seeing them. And on the elevator ride up, one of the women was there, hit us with the "excuse me, ladies," and I literally was floating on that for about the next 3 days.
Yeah, now imagine, like, you're gonna be always getting hit with that because of the way you talk, because the voice is kind of like the one thing that people will notice outside of, like, physical looks.
I cannot say just from, like, voice yet that it's happened, but I guess it says something to how long I've been growing my hair out, because wife and I stopped off at a drive-through at one point, and the person handing us our meal was like, "You ladies enjoy your food," and I was like, and it was, I just kind of rode that just for the rest of the day.
And that's awesome.
As you should.
There's something funny that I do nowadays, though. Like, when someone calls the house line and asks, like, to speak to someone who isn't me, I'll be like, oh yeah, sure, just give me a second. I'll grab the phone and, like, fumble it around in my hand, kind of like Jack Black did in the School of Rock.
You absolute fucking demon.
And I'm like,
yes, hello, how can I help you?
You absolute fucking menace. I love it.
I love doing that. Especially, like, if it's gonna waste a telemarketer's time.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Like,
As
can I speak with? Yes, hello, miss. Can I speak with Mr. Name here? Like, yeah, hold on just a second. Fumble the phone around, like, just like, here. The phone's for you.
Yeah, hello. What? How can I help you?
hello, my name is Mark.
And then they're like, yeah, I'm looking to talk to this person. Hi, Scott. Hi, Osho.
Hello, welcome on in, Raiders! Whether you're here to stay or head on out, please grab a book before you leave. My name is Index Page, script of the library patron of its namesake. Will you find your book in this place? How are you all doing? Whether you guys are here to stay or heading out, please enjoy your stay while you are here. Consider hitting that follow button if you haven't already. It plays a funny sound effect, and it'll put us one step closer to 1,800 followers. We're 2 away right now. Believe it or not. I don't know why.
Anyways, Val, you were saying?
Was I saying something?
No, I was saying something. I confused myself. And Marcy with 5 gifted subs. Holy shit. Thank you, Marcy. And that puts us at 69 subs.
Oh, hi, Mark.
Excellent.
Penny Senseless. I like that name.
Oh, I love Penny. She's a wonderful transfem catgirl VTuber.
Oh, I like
Does
that.
this? She actually has this thing where she'll just like as like a vocal stim does like cat noises.
Aw. But
As most trans femmes should be one to do.
there was this one time it was a telemarketer who was like a proper person. Like there was a person behind there, not just a robocall trying to record my voice, trying to get me to say yes. I'm like, yeah, I'm not the person that can take this call. If you're looking for Mr. House Name here, I fumble the phone, give it over back to myself.
Yeah, how can I help you?
And then it's just like, yeah, we're looking to talk to someone about this. I'm like, yeah,
I'm not the person that can handle this. Hold on, I'll go get the lady of the house.
yes, hello, how can I help you? And I gave them a runaround for like 15 minutes. But before I got bored of them because they were not giving up. But it was so funny.
I knew that I knew that one of my teachers was gonna call the house when I was a lot younger, and I wanted them to think they had the wrong number because I wasn't doing very well in that class, and so I answer phone with deeper Russian accent, and I ask who is speaking, and it is.
With the lessons I give you all, you too can fuck with telemarketers.
I have fairly good vocal range. It's mostly about confidence and getting out of own head.
Just pick up the phone and...
The number you are trying to reach is out of service. Please dial and try again.
Anyways, let's get back on topic. With the lessons you have so far, you know what you can do. And I highly recommend, like, practicing scales for about 15 minutes a day. Record yourself. Listen to yourself back. Take some notes on, like, what you can do to improve and, like, change that up a little bit.
Right.
That said, would you like to try and do some more scales a little bit?
Sure.
Because we've got like another 30 to 90 minutes, and I would love to like just shoot the shit, talk lessons, or like go over some lessons, talk about any experiences you've had with working with your voice in like in the wild.
Yeah, let's kill some time, shall we?
I'll go get the knife.
Wait, what?
We're gonna kill time.
I thought, okay. Just working.
Rezko, thank you so much for the hydrate and the posture check. Me who's sitting with my legs crossed in a wheelie chair.
Yeah, no, de-bisexual yourself right now.
I mean, you'll say that. It's too true. I have a footstool just under my desk that I just keep unshrimping and shrimping all day.
Just David Attenborough walks in, and now we cover what is going on with the trans femmes in the wild. And Mercurius...
To establish a synchronicity.
Oh, thank you for the stretch.
Making eye noises
Okay.
towards each other. Known as the TCP. Trans Femme Communication Protocol. It will then commence info dumping about their particular obsession. This could range from the Warhammer 40,000 universe to Battletech to the Large Hadron Collider or the Soviet RBMK reactor.
I love it.
I could do impressions fairly well. It's just picking a voice from me and then getting out of my own fucking head.
Nah, I feel that. Sorry, Bella, you were saying something?
It's literally, if you want to lose about a good hour, just my better half, just if you ever find yourself in a call with her, just bring up either the Wisely tank or New Vegas or just Fallout lore, and you're gonna lose time. It's like a vacuum.
Oh, we have some questions from the chat, by the way. Would you guys like to help answer some questions?
Of course.
All right.
Absolutely, yeah.
June, what is your question? And if anyone in the chat has any questions that they'd like to ask,
Please feel free to ask them.
and to my guests too.
Well, I suppose I should open up your chat then, just in case.
June, what is your question? And if anyone else has any questions, feel free to ask them. I'm happy to answer any and all questions. Penny. That I can understand that perfectly. I understand not wanting to mimic someone outright, but think of it this way. You're not trying to mimic someone's voice outright. You're trying to make yourself sound a little more like them so that you can sound more like how you feel comfortable with. Like when I started my journey, I really, really wanted to sound kind of like Tristana from League of Legends. I forget her voice actress's name. Or a little bit of Lux. And then I wound up sounding a little more like Lulu. And then I just kind of drifted into my own thing. After spending a lot of time pushing myself to a specific region, I drifted into my own comfort zone after spending all that time, trudging towards a specific target. Elspeth Eastman, yeah, that.
Yeah, it's a little bit of as you have that. It's you're trying to reach a synthesis between that voice that you admire and what you're capable of.
Tyrus R.
How many squirrels does it take to make a horsepower? Well, you see, for that, you have to consider the following.
I'm not gonna get down that rabbit hole. But does singing alongside a woman singing help? Can you elaborate on what you mean by that, Marceline? Do I have to worry about losing my range with my voice by going higher pitch?
That is also one of those big things.
June.
Heard about that a lot.
June, I want you to come here. I want you to come here really quick. Come here. Everybody come here. Come here really close. Come here. I'm gonna hit you with the true facts.
If I can still fucking do this.
And do this easily? You're not gonna lose your range, you're just gonna expand it.
So don't worry. I mean, you may have some times where you struggle a little bit, but it's just a matter of practicing more and more. You can completely eliminate certain registers if you do not go back to them at all. There was a time when I got through my vocal training that I could not go back to a super deep tone without hurting myself. But I trained back into it. Because I'm comfortable doing what I do just to...
Sometimes fuck with people.
think that's what a lot of people forget, is that you're not deliberately trying to go for something that will strain your voice. You're trying to raise your tolerance to the point where it doesn't.
Yeah. Voice training and singing are very, very different things. They are two very different beasts. You're going to want to train your voice before you try and sing. And when you get to the range you want for speaking, then you can get into singing. Because when I started out trying to sing, I would naturally try to go back to what my range was very, very used to, and it kind of gave me more dysphoria. I didn't sing for quite a few months during my whole training arc. And quite a few months after. It was only recently I started singing again. Because some of you guys want to hear me sing karaoke.
That makes sense, because if you're like hitting those notes while you're singing, it's not your resting speaking voice.
Exactly.
Also, that is why Just the Two of Us as a duet is now my go-to karaoke song.
Just the two of us. We can make it by just the two of us. Just the two of us. We can make it if we try. DMCA.
Anyways. Anybody else have any other questions? Do my guests have any questions for me? Slowly inching towards you both.
Really didn't come on with a whole lot of questions, or I didn't really know what to expect.
Perfectly
really,
fine.
I think part of it is just as I've said, just getting out of my head and learning to.
I have a
be
question.
okay
How did you
with-
get so adorable? God damn it.
Perfect. No, let's
Also-
go with that one, shall we?
Also, Lola, you know what? I blame genetics. Both
God, I
natural
wish
and
that were
artificial.
Genetics.
Yeah, like I've said with my whole HRT experience, my lack of tits is chronic, but my ass remains iconic.
That's the thing. Like with all of us have like a gene in us that determines how big our titties would be.
Yeah.
If we had the estrogen for it.
Ash has
Probably.
Ash has
Me
a
looking
question,
at my sister
Lola.
and mother. God, I hope that's me.
Oh my god, is the question frog related? I swear to myself.
Well,
No,
okay,
they want me
hold
to
on.
sound
No,
like Solid
okay.
Snake for you. They've asked me if I
Now,
can do
I
a
wonder,
Solid
what
Snake impression for you, so I'm trying to sneak by, but the clap of my ass cheeks keeps alerting the guards.
I want to hear about the frogs now. What do we have going on here?
Okay, so it was just a Solid Snake impression. Okay, cool. Fornea would like to know how do they contact you? She is another trans femme friend that I learned about, and that was interesting.
If you want to, you can come by the come on by the Twitch chat. We have a Discord link on the Twitch channel, and you can come straight into the Discord, and my DMs are open to anyone that's in my server. I'm perfectly happy meeting new people and like providing tips and whatnot. And if you're a member of the Twitch chat, there is a redeem for 10,000 points where I will completely stop whatever the hell I'm doing and spend 15 minutes giving a voice lesson.
That is one hell of a redeem.
Also, hi,
That is
Gaspunk.
really.
Also,
Also, this person just came into the apparently Discord does the double underscore. So I'm just gonna put it in your chat here. This person just came into my chat
Oh, hi,
saying,
Mark.
"I'm here
Oh, hi,
to
Mark.
chew bubblegum and troll leftists, and I'm all out of bubblegum," and got banned instantly. So, get fucked. Feel free to ban them just in case they.
no,
end up,
Tyrus, I did not
coming
forget your
way.
question. So, Tyrus, you asked How can you get an androgynous voice?
Oh, hi, Mark.
Oh, hi, Mark. Also, we are now over 1,800 followers. Pog!
Let's go! Oh,
LFG.
Let's fucking go.
How many times can that voice routine be used per stream?
Don't you dare coordinate an entire stream. Don't you fucking dare. Don't you.
So back to Tyrus' question about androgynous voices.
wait, wait.
That is a very, very subjective kind of thing. That is a very subjective thought, because what sounds androgynous to one person may not sound androgynous to another person. You want to go for what sounds...
Oh, hi, Mark.
Oh, hi, Mark. You want to go for what sounds androgynous to you.
That's the funny thing about androgynous, is that it is kind of one of the more looser when it comes to it. You can basically make it whatever you want it out to be.
Yeah, and Penny gives a great point here. Apparently, I sound androgynous to some people, and I've asked people like, "Hey, do I sound femme enough?" And they're like, "You sound like a tomboy." I'm like,
You know what? I'll fucking take it. I'll take it.
because
I love
as we all
Penny's
know
voice.
from the captcha meme,
Need tomboy.
Honestly, I've always considered myself to have somewhat in the middle when it comes to my voice. I've always thought that I sounded rather androgynous. When I was in my egg, I always wished I sounded more masculine, and here I am, still wanting me to sound more feminine. It's always been in the middle for me, which is odd to think about.
Oh, well, if you're in the middle of the ride, everything will be just fine. Then everything will be all right.
Also, Ash says I naturally sound androgynous, which is fine by me. I love when my gender confuses others. You know what?
That is peak Ash.
Those are key points, Tyrus. To go for an androgynous voice, you want to try and think to yourself, do I sound more mask or do I sound more femme? And then you want to try and like shift toward the opposite end a little bit for you, because you want to go for something that's you. And then it's just a matter of like waiting for people to respond to it.
What's your question, Ari?
Let me scroll back up and see if there's any other questions.
One of my good friends here, Ari, said that she had a question.
Oh yeah, ask away.
Let's see. Ari says, I have trouble recognizing tones and differencing between changing tone and resonance. Any advice on this for range training to index?
Can you say that again? Also, Ragna has a question as well. I'm trying to scroll back up to find it. And Marceline has a question as well. So, what was Ari's question?
So they has trouble recognizing tones and difference between changing tone and resonance. And any advice on how to? I suppose any advice on how to recognize the tones and difference between changing tone and resonance?
I am not an expert on that. When you say tones and resonance, what exactly do you mean between those two? Because
Ari, do you want to hop in Index's chat
I
so that
I
you?
see.
Oh, yeah. I know that English is not their first language, so I know that it can be a little difficult to describe things when it's not what you're used to.
While I try to think about that, I can answer Marceline's other question. Are there certain words you can practice to help with mouth shape and pitch? So a lot of voice actors will do like the red leather, yellow leather, red leather, yellow leather. There's when you're trying to do vocal training, you want to do some warm-ups beforehand. Like do some little alliteration things like she sells seashells down by the seashore, Peter Piper picked a pack of pick-a-buppers, stuff like that. While bearing in mind some of the lessons that I've given. Like if you're trying to go for a femme voice, try to do Peter Piper picked a pack of pick-a-buppers. try to do that Peter Piper picked a pack of pickled peppers without so much. You know what I mean? Because that as a warm-up can like help you get in the mindset for that. Now then, the next question I have from Ari. I always hear about how to focus on resonance instead of pitch. Honestly, it's different from person to person. Some people need more practice with like how their voice comes out, or some people just need practice with their pitch. There's no one proper answer for that. That's a matter of finding something for yourself. That's a matter of recording yourself, listening to yourself back and thinking, okay, I sound pretty nasally and I need to work on this. Okay, I sound pretty gravelly and I need to work on this. If it's a matter of resonance, I would recommend trying some like harmonization practices. Like listening to some key tones and then trying to harmonize with them. And then staying in that range. Whereas just doing a pitch change is a matter of the scales. Again, this is my disclaimer point.
I am not an expert. I am simply using my own experience of 15 years of hobbyist voice acting to give what tips I can
so people can spend less money on vocal coaches. Because vocal coach lessons are expensive as fuck. And you could use that money on more important things. Like food, and titty skittles, and water, and more titty skittles.
And
That's true.
useless plastic.
I see the occasional voice actor like training on Twitter, or at least less so now ever since it got taken over by an idiot.
Oh boy.
There was always one that like if I ever had the money to like go after it, her name was she went by Spironolactone Agnew, and I'm so mad that I didn't think of that first.
That's so strong of a name.
Love it.
Right?
Anyways.
I have sorry, somebody wanted you to elaborate on the Peter Piper bit as to how that helps with the pitch training and everything.
That's more of like a vocal warm-up to prepare yourself. Like, if you're gonna be going out for the day and you're gonna be talking to a lot of people and you want to use this day to really like push yourself for your training, maybe do like a 15-minute vocal warm-up. Just like how an artist will spend like a few minutes stretching their hands, cracking their knuckles, moving their wrists up and down and like getting their muscles ready. Or similar to how like an athlete will spend some time stretching before performing their sport. You won't see an Olympic athlete immediately go into their Olympic sport. You will see them training at the side of the field, warming up. They gotta do their stretches. You gotta do your stretches before you dive in. Same thing with vocal training. My model died. There we go, it's back.
Okay, so then the alliteration is just it's something then to I suppose like occupy your like mouth whilst you focus on the pitch then?
Yeah.
That way you're not necessarily just focusing on like a single like vowel or whatever.
Exactly.
Okay, that makes sense. All of this like is already it already kind of makes a lot of sense to me. I guess I just haven't buckled down and actually worked on any of it, but these are still some really good tips.
Like, if I'm going to be doing a visual novel reading day, I will spend about 30 minutes just like making vowel sounds with my mouth and just like getting my mouth ready to move constantly, and then follow up with what Ragna asks. A question for just range in general. What is the best beverage to help with not drying out one's voice when practicing range practice?
Water.
There's not even a question about it.
This
When
is
it
why I'm a
comes to-
hydro homie. Fuck!
No, you got it right, Hydro Homo.
Another
have
thing, make sure it's not super ice cold or super hot. It could be like a little chilly, but you want it to be a comforting kind of water, not like a wake up kind of water. Another thing would be tea and honey for after. Water during, tea and honey after. Sorry, Lola, what was that?
Okay, I was just going to clarify there, yeah, specifically after then.
The tea and honey thing is supposed to help, like, relax yourself after all the stretching, after all of the work.
Okay.
It's the aftercare.
It's treats. It's for morale.
If there's anything, if there is anything that a queer person will know, it is Lil Treat.
Marceline. Wait, where did it go? Oh, June. Can I ask a general trans question not related to voices? Yeah, please.
Go for it.
Regarding beverages, I have the full like bisexual spread of beverages here. Just like I have the water. I've got some tea. I have some wine to just like calm myself the fuck down, because otherwise I would be panicking.
I feel that.
But usually it's just one for hydration, one for caffeination, one for recreation. But yeah, I've got basically room temperature water, and then the elderberry tea for after with the last of my honey.
I've been staring at this can of Coke for so long, and I know I shouldn't drink it for this, considering the fact that.
Sorry, Marceline. I saw two names of the same color and read the names wrong.
I do that a lot.
So does anybody? Do you guys have any questions for me?
I've never had that's the thing. I don't know what to ask. That's always been my thing with a lot of things, honestly.
I would say that as well. Yeah, I would not know what to ask. Like,
then
that's
may I
how
ask you a couple of questions? Really quick.
Of course.
Yeah, absolutely.
Would you be okay with me checking in on you over the next week or two, being like, hey, have you done like any training? How's training going? Can I, like, do you want to have like a little follow-up in private and see how you're doing?
Yeah, absolutely. I'd be down for that.
Especially like if you want to practice scales, like if you want to do like a 30-minute scale practice, and then like, okay, you stepped a little bit between these two numbers. Here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna dial it back and just spread it out between this range.
I would absolutely be down for that.
Also, hi, Fornia. Love that name. June asks, how do I come out to my family? I'm open online, but scared of telling family.
Big, that's a big one.
That's a very, very hard thing.
Okay, so here's the thing. That is
Depends
honestly,
on how well you get along with your family.
and how well you know them.
Yeah. Like, when my grandparents found out and they, like, let the rest of the family know, I was a little mad at my grandparents, but everyone in the family was like, hey, we still love you, you're family. I was lucky enough to have an extended family that was like even my grandpa, even my hardcore Roman Catholic, attend church every Sunday grandpa was like, what does that mean? You can't give me a hug anymore? No, get over here and give me a hug. Like, fuck! Love you, man! My grandma, when she first found out, she's like, I kind of always knew, but I didn't want to say anything. I'm like, God, did everybody know before me? The answer is yes.
I didn't get I'm actually shocked that I didn't get the we always knew from, because it felt like possibly obvious.
Most of my family, like, you know, we just want you to be happy. Also, like, what is being non-binary, and just like, yeah, we want you to be as happy as you can be. up until the point that I actually made any demands of them. As in, please stop using that name. It sounds like a curse that is spat at me.
My family's gotten used to just using like the gender neutral version of my dead name, which I'm perfectly fine with, because I still have yet to go through the process of legally changing it.
See.
Because it's going to be like a very, very long process.
God, it's literally been like one of those things that I've been wanting to do for a while now, and it's just so much, because I definitely don't want to do it now, especially so close.
Because not only do you have to just like say, oh, I want to change it, you have to request it from your state government, schedule when to go in, pay for it, and then change everything on your tax papers, your credit cards, social security, everything.
Insurance, doctor's offices, pharmacies.
This is why I'm waiting until I get my American citizenship to change it.
Felt that. Anyways, Serene Princess asks, I have a question regarding voice longevity and recovery. Please ask away, Serene.
Ash says that apparently her relatives gambled on her identity when she was a teenager, and her aunt was like, "You owe me $20. She's a lesbian."
Oh God,
that is amazing.
That's both cursed and wholesome.
My family was that cool.
That's blurst. That's blurst.
I just have the fucking repressed Catholics on my dad's side. Where's that? How do I get that?
Funny thing is, Ash's family is Catholic. I have apparently radicalized her, Irish Catholic priest, former priest dad on to the left on gender issues, which I said, I want that on a t-shirt, and I then went and got somebody to draw my VTuber model wearing a t-shirt that says, I'll radicalize your dad.
I have a coming out as straight story. My mom thought I was gay till I brought home my future wife. Oh.
That is amazing.
Oh.
That is actually fucking stellar.
Have you tried not being straight? Are you sure maybe it's just a phase?
I mean, do you even know if you haven't even tried it?
So Serene asks, so, when you have to do a long performance, how long should you warm up your voice? And how long would you recommend letting your voice recover between those long performances? If you have to do a 90-minute performance, maybe spend 10 minutes doing a vocal warm-up and then just kind of go nonverbal until a little while after. Whereas, if you're in the professional voice acting industry and you're going to be spending 8 hours reading lines and being directed, you're probably going to be spending a day off after. Just relaxing, nonverbal.
God,
unless you are one of the titans who, is constantly getting work. Cough, cough, Yuri Lowenthal. Cough, cough, Matt Mercer. Cough, cough, no longer Terrence Strong.
Oh yeah. I was gonna say, we can't all be Steve Bloom, but then he only does one voice.
I mean, we all love Steve Bloom around here.
His IMDb page should just say yes.
I love the kind of woman that would just kill me.
We're gonna be different people.
Okay, no, hold on. No, you're forgetting Steve Bloom's proper, true voice, and that is Guillemot.
True. But then there's also, Kayla McKee is someone I really, really look up to now.
Ooh.
Kayla McKee, who voices Pina in Beastars, but Testament in Guilty Gear Strive.
God.
And Sunny in Cassette Beasts.
Yeah.
Have you encountered Sunny the Vampire? Or Sunny the Landlender, I should say.
I have totally normal feelings about Sunny.
So
I have
Sunny,
totally
Testament, and Pina all the same voice actress.
Damn.
She
Okay,
is a god for voice acting.
That makes it even more of a fucking sin that they didn't make Sunny an actual fucking character.
By the way, Bell, is it just Bell Umbra on Twitch?
Yes, it is.
Underscore.
Oh,
Bell
okay.
Umbra. No, Bell underscore
Is it
Umbra.
No, it's just Bell Umbra.
Oh, it's just Bell Umbra, one
Okay.
word?
Yeah.
I just wanted to know so that I can put your name in the stream title here.
Yeah, no, Boo also understands the love for Sunny.
Yep. And then, like, there's voice actors from other languages. Like, the moment you hear... what is his, The moment you hear Takaya Kuroda, or Takaya Kuroda in anything, you're like, oh, that's Kiryu. That's what Cosmic Kiryu. Like, when we were watching Fairy Tail on the Pages Archive server, and we were watching it in Japanese, and Capricorn came on screen, I'm like, that's just fucking Kiryu. Oh god, we're fucked, that's Kiryu. Kiryu's a villain.
I don't watch
finding
enough
out that
dubbed
he
stuff
voiced
to...
it. Oh, go for it.
Oh, I was gonna say I don't know enough dubbed stuff to, or rather like foreign language stuff to know like non-English speaking voice actors yet, but there are some like iconic ones out there.
Yep.
Like you ever see like Oron High School Host Club, and you're like, oh, hang on, what's Sebastian doing in this?
Also, for Marceline, didn't you mention that the voice actor for Zagreus also voices Orpheus and the skeleton from Hades? Yes. If you've ever... I'm sure you ladies have played Hades.
Of course.
I'm
Zagreus?
Minotaur, for God's sake.
Zagreus, Skelly, and Orpheus. All the same voice actor.
The fucking range on that motherfucker.
Now,
is
here's the
insane.
thing. Here's a fun little, like, cute Easter egg. Orpheus does, like, the vocal song In the Blood, right?
Mhm.
So you know that voice actor can sing. You know that man has pipes.
Oh,
Of
yeah.
course.
But there's an interaction where Orpheus asks Zagreus, you know, you're quite talented with the lyre. Have you ever considered singing? And Zagreus is like, oh, I'm not sure anyone would like to hear me sing. I'd probably have a terrible singing voice. And I'm just like,
I see what they did there.
Motherfucker, you bitch. You absolute fucking bitch.
like, that's a very tongue-in-cheek joke if you know. And then I'm
That's
like,
fantastic.
you know what? God damn it. Clever. Yeah, Logan Cunningham. Logan Cunningham is Hades, but also voices Rux and Bastion, and the Transistor and Transistor. Supergiant has an amazing cast of talent.
Yeah, no, Supergiant is amazing. Oh, God.
I'm looking forward to Hades too. Because
I will say this for anyone that wants to play a Supergiant game. We're getting off topic here for a second. Don't play Pyre unless you want to fucking cry.
I only have so much room in my head for crying right now.
Pyre is an amazing, amazing game, but there's always going to be someone losing and being let down in that game and just like going through super fucking mega depression as a result. And it's like, God, I want everyone to be happy. Nope, you can't have, everyone cannot be happy in this game. Here.
That's just not right. Now
Even
is
if you
it?
want the good ending, you have to ruin some other people's dreams to get the good ending to maybe one day help them out. And then I'm just like, okay, you know what? Maybe no.
Speaking of depression, there is one section if you do plan on playing Get in the Car Loser, there's a if you see the part that mentions an isolation field, get ready for an incredibly accurate portrayal of a depression spiral. Because one character essentially goes so deep into their own head and fights with the same old like arguments and counter arguments that they've had with themselves for the 22 years of their life that it ends up being very relatable. So be advised of that going in. Like she comes out of it being a lot stronger for it, having overcome it and realizing that she can lean on her friends. But it's a hell of a journey to get there.
I can't remember the last time I had full-on super depression because of a game. Possibly, you know what? Maybe it was probably the last game that actually got me tears and like, oh no, was probably Digimon Survive, with how on the wall what was happening was.
Marceline, what do you mean by that?
I would have said Omori, but
getting,
then I've never
getting back on
played
topic really quick.
Yes.
Marceline asks, I have one more final question before the episode ends. Is there a voice you can use as a stepping stone? I heard doing the Kermit voice helps. I guess it really depends on what you're doing. I'm not sure what you mean by using a voice as a stepping stone.
I suppose on the way to the voice that you want, and I think that's what we started at from the beginning, is that you focus on like a femme voice that you want to have, or a mask voice, and that the your final goal should be like a synthesis between your aspiration.
I get what you guys are doing. You guys are trying to just make me do the Kermit the Frog and Meatwad voices.
I was about to say, are we really using Kermit as the basis for the future trans femme generations?
I mean, if you really want to be sound like Meatwad, I can start doing the Meatwad of the New Jersey Meatwad's voice.
God.
I sense I have broken some people with how accurate this voice is.
You're just fucking with us. Well done.
I know that God loves me. I read it in the Bible.
I am made in His image.
I am made in His image.
You look at him and tell me that there's a God.
God. That show is something.
That show was a trip.
I wish I knew what you were talking about.
You probably wouldn't, because like it's an American cartoon on Adult Swim. Aqua Teen Hunger Force.
Aqua Teen Hunger Force is an interesting show because it was born out of a bit from Space Ghost to Coast, which was a show done on Cartoon Network that was basically a talk show using animation cells from Space Ghost, old Hanna-Barbera action cartoon.
It's a bit that spawned out of a bit that spawned into its own franchise.
Which is
it
one
was
of
like
the
a
longest...
show done while high for people that are high in college.
That makes way too much sense. I've never actually watched it. I've heard that it's basically that kind of show, and it really just I didn't want to just go out of my way to play it, to watch it.
The show is interesting in that, like, not every episode hits, but when it hits, it's like
Marceline. Sorry,
Mel.
Marceline says, I've heard other people saying that you can mimic a character such as Kermit to help mouth shapes and train muscles. And while I love your Meatwad, I have heard that this is a tip from others. So Kermit maybe is a little axiomatic, but going by try doing an impression of a character you admire. Try doing an impression of a character you admire. Like, when I start doing my Harley Quinn, I can really get into the mindset of Harley Quinn because I've just done the impression of her a lot, and I'm used to how her mouth moves at this point. But it's just a matter of, like, picking a voice you really want to try and mimic and just keep trying, and then sort of going back into your natural tone and, like, try and tweak it from there.
So when doing that sort of thing, it should always be like a gradual thing rather than you want to work up to it rather than just instantly.
Granted, the way I'm doing this is coming from 15 years of experience.
As you can tell, I have sort of a mastery over how I do this.
I have had people ask me if I'm just using a soundboard or I'm multiple people in one room.
No, baby, it's all natural to me.
And that's just because I've done it a lot. Whereas...
there's so many fucking girls out there that just feel like, oh, it's the soundboard. And I was like, God, do you even know what women sound like, my guy? I swear, there are some points where quote-unquote straight dudes aren't even into women at a certain point.
Fellers, is
Really?
it gay to be straight?
Seriously, like there's so many of them who are like, "Oh my god, you had the vagina, it's so gross." I'm like, really? Did you?
I'm reminded
just
of that
admit
one
that you're
tweet.
gay.
That one tweet that woman put out, where saying like, it's kind of gay for a guy to cry at his own wedding, because isn't it like?
Oh, hi, Mark.
Hi, Razuwu. Like, the tweet is like, this. It's kind of gay to cry at your own wedding because that's her day. It's for her. Crying should be reserved for super emotional stuff like death. And then, like, one of the top comments was, "Fellas, is it gay to be straight?"
It's at this point, like, the last person who needs to decide what is masculine or not are hyper toxic, like her. Like I feel like every other day there is some like woman, quote unquote straight woman, who just says the most out of pocket like shit that is and isn't masculinity.
And then you've got like the guys who are like going down on a woman. It's so gay. Like it's a submissive. Like yeah, we're really up to like, is it gay to have sex with a woman at this point? Like you cannot be.
This is why I love
serious.
the podcast. Towards the end of the episodes, we get so off topic, but so on topic.
It really is.
I think we've got those basics down, and I now that I'm out of my own head for a little bit, I feel like we can just kind of bullshit, and I like that.
And I'm so happy you guys like got comfortable through this, and have my lessons been helpful for you?
I actually think I plan on doing a little bit, like scales tomorrow after work. I think
if you would, if you wouldn't mind, I'd love to like hear any progress you get over the week, and we can talk more.
All right. I feel like I do have an idea of like the voice that I.
Like as much as I can give the lessons and like coach you through them, it's a matter of you having to put in the work.
Because
I can give the knowledge, but I can't give the experience. I can share the experience as much as I can, but it's also a matter of you are strong enough to, like, I'm pushing you along the way with the training wheels on. Let's get those pedaling going.
There is one voice actress who I, without a doubt, envy every part, with every fiber of my being, and that is Atsuko Tanaka, whose probably most famous role would be Castor in Fate Stay Night,
a series I have no experience with.
It's for the better. Well, okay, I'm gonna say this in the most blatant way possible. Fate Stay Night is the League of Legends of anime-based media.
Oh no.
Oh. Yeah. No.
That's fair.
You're gonna find characters that you absolutely love about it, but finding them as they should be properly in media is going to be a Herculean task. Because
all I know about Fate is that Mordred's kind of tomboy aesthetic peak.
Yeah, no, Mordred is definitely.
Despite how much people say Mordred sucks as a character, I'm like, I don't care. Cute design.
People like to bitch about a lot of the Sabers who aren't King Arthur. They really do.
Also, wasn't Fate originally in a rogue?
Okay, so here's the thing. It wasn't intended to be in a rogue. The original was not. He literally was talked into it by his publisher or something of the like, or either agent to add in the scenes and stuff like that, which
This will help sell.
To help
Yep.
it sell, yes, but eventually in future iterations he would remove those scenes from them.
Yeah.
Which, God, I wish you'd do this, because then you got the
So, before we wrap up tonight's episode, do you guys have any big projects you're working on or anything you want to talk about?
right now, project things are in the work for me, for without a doubt. Most things you won't probably see for either a couple weeks or next year. However, I still plan on streaming quite a few things. Next week, we of course are going to be continuing Mega Man Battle Network 3 with my dear.
Sorry.
What did you say?
I gotta get back to Mega Man Battle Network 2. I had to stop because I'm in the fetch quest portion.
Oh no,
the Iceman fetch quest portion. You know, the cursed portion where it's like, hey, go to this side of the game world. Okay, now you gotta go to this side of the game world. You gotta go find the fucking pig key.
No, that was literally my Joker moment. You have no idea.
It's my Joker moment too.
I hate 2 is such a fucking. Once you hit 3, it's such a nicer time.
Yeah.
All it takes is one bad day.
I will get back to it eventually, but
but after that, we of course we're going to be doing post game for Cassette Beasts.
Oop, yeah, that sounds fun. I did most of the post game for Cassette Beasts off stream because it was a slog at that point.
Yeah, but I want to see what I can see of myself there. But well, I'll do one stream of it just to see what's there. Tuesday, I think I'm gonna be starting. I think I'm either doing. I think the Dead Island 2 DLC has come out already. If not, I'm gonna be doing my first ever time playing through the original Halo with my friend Gast.
Fun.
And finally, we're continuing Golden Sun Dark Dawn with my girlfriend. I've been playing through the Golden Sun games ever since I started streaming, and we're near the tail end of the final installment of the game. So that's going to be a big point of my channel since I've been playing them since I started. Fun fact, Golden Sun Dark Dawn is the reason why I have the Umbra theming for myself.
I love that.
Lola, what about you? Any big projects you're working on? Anything you're proud of that you want to talk about? Anything you want to plug?
Well, let's
and
see.
Don't say buts.
Well, now that you've said it, just trying to think now. The next thing that I've got coming up is on Sunday. We are going to be, me and 4 other TranScribe Vtubers are getting together to do a little tabletop RPG based off of the Demon the Descent game. It's set in the Chronicles of Darkness.
I've been wanting to play WoD so badly.
Yeah, it's definitely a game with themes that a lot of us can relate to, as you play as a creature that has been disconnected from a system that it once had to rigidly adhere to, and now has to masquerade as something that it's not, in order to remain safe, whilst finding other people who are like them in order to band together and survive.
Oh.
It's going to be...
that doesn't hit close to home at all.
Yeah, not at all. Ha, smile. It's going to be...
Serenely.
It's going to be me, Quill and Coral Studios, otherwise known as Braca Quilltusk.
Oh, they
Baffy the Sappy, and Ari Aries.
Okay, I gotta tune into that. When you do that, please at me.
I will. It's going to be this Sunday, 12:30 noon Central.
Cool.
Yeah, I will absolutely. Yeah, we're going to be doing a little bit of Session 0. We're going to be figuring out, basically finishing off everybody's character sheets, figuring out if we can, figuring out everybody's NPC allies, everyone's how they all know each other. One thing that I love about the Chronicles of Darkness character sheets is there is like 5 questions that get asked of a character, and they're usually tailored to the type of supernatural that you're playing. This one is like, who did you share a part of with when you first fell? Like, who suspects that you're something different but doesn't? Who could give you up right now if they really wanted to? And then my favorite one is, who thinks they have something on you when all they really have is smoke and mirrors? Which is like kind of the anti one that lets you have a little bit of fun. I had somebody once when I was running a game with that decided to have like a conspiracy theorist who was convinced that they were an alien. So they just kind of played that up like, haha, this person thinks I'm an alien, but everybody knows that I am a human that does human things.
As humans do.
Very normal human man.
The only thing I'm reminded of that bit is like the Game Grumps saying, I forget what, the Grognors, or the Grognoids or something like that.
Yes, this is delicious human water for my human body. Yes.
God,
But that voice just reminds me of
too referential.
That voice itself is just reminding me of like, speaking of what, Alpha Booza's one of Alpha Booza's shows that he's currently putting on right now.
I miss the text-to-speech device series.
Yes, he does Hunter the Parenting, and like the one that he's currently working on right now is Half-Life Zero Viscosity, which is a very fun watch for those, even if they have not experienced Half-Life as a series.
But as we wrap up, I'd like to remind everyone, my guests tonight have been Belle Umbra and Lolatov Cocktail.
It has been a pleasure. I look forward to the next time when we can hang out and maybe do some other
I need to schedule
Yuri
another
or
Yuri
not Yuri
Readers.
visual.
Yeah, another Yuri Readers Anonymous day.
Honestly,
I
would be
have
happy
only
to-
one Yuri that I've ever properly read.
So, Belle, Yuri Readers Anonymous is like this little like sideshow I put on now, where I'm basically like going through LGBT, mostly Yuri focused, currently visual novels with guests as like the main characters. Now then, as I'd like to remind everyone before we end tonight's episode, stick around. We're going to be going into a game after this. It will probably be some Crosscode or some Persona 5 Royal.
Ooh, lovely.
What
palace are you on?
This is a New Game Plus run. We just finished Madarame's Palace.
Oh, you're going to my favorite palace.
It's a New Game Plus Merciless Arsene only run.
Oh dear.
Arsene / Raoul.
Raoul? Wait,
Yeah.
what?
In Persona 5 Royal, they introduced Raoul, who is like the true name of Arsene, because all the Phantom Thieves like get a third persona that is like the true form of their first persona. Like Captain Kidd becomes William, for example.
Yeah, that makes sense, but why Raoul? That's...
Because Arsene's true name was Raoul.
Huh.
And if you look at Raoul's design, it is just Arsene. It's a palette swap of Arsene. Yeah. Also, anyone can get is like well trained as I can. Anyone can.
If I can go from like this kind of like dorky, nasally, always kind of like mumbly sort of voice that I just did not talk much with,
to this, anyone can.
Yeah.
It just takes practice and effort.
I have one friend who has voice trained herself into quite a favorable position. So yes, I can tell you guys additionally that you can make it to where you want to be. It just takes time and practice.
But I'd also like to say this. This weekend, I am working on something for me. Solely for me. I'm working on Derpage. Or Derpage. The TTRPG show that I'm going to be producing.
Oh.
We're using Fabula Ultima.
Oh dear.
I've not heard of that one.
First off, I'm going to end the episode here and we'll just go into a little just chatting for a little bit and I can explain it a bit. YouTube, thank you for being here tonight. I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye, YouTube.
Bye.
Have fun.